Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is July 4th, 2023, and Barcelona have finalized the signing of Vitor Roque. Now, unfortunately, it seems like the club will be missing out on the signing of Arda Guler. And finally, Barcelona could be reaching a final agreement in regards to the transfer of Clement Lenglet. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and I'm officially back from vacation. Actually, I just got back around 10 minutes ago and I had to immediately start recording because there's so much news that I couldn't go to bed without making this video first. Now, having said that, it's now back to the official Barca News schedule with your daily edited videos instead of those crappy live streams that I was doing using my cell phone while I was out of town. Also, it's back to the regular live stream schedule. So tomorrow there'll be a live stream at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Having said all of that, I would like to wish all of you here in the United States of America a happy 4th of July. I hope you spent today with your family and loved ones, and hopefully you had some fun barbecuing and lighting up some fireworks. Now, before we begin with the news, as always, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, if you're looking for any Barcelona gear, make sure you hit the kickback. The link is down below in the description. Now, we'll begin with the great news that Barcelona have officially finalized the signing of the Brazilian wonder kid, Vitor Roque, who will be coming to Barcelona to train under no other than Lewandowski, who's been the best center forward in the world in the past several years, and who will be the future center forward of Barcelona. Now, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, Barcelona were very close to finalizing an agreement with Atletico Paranaense, and it was reported that there's only one document left for both parties to finalize. And today the news broke that Barcelona have finalized all the paperwork, all the contracts with Atletico Paranaense. So Vitor Roque will officially become a Barcelona player. Now, Barcelona had already finalized the agreement with Vitor Roque himself, and the player will be signing with Barcelona until 2029 with a 3 million euro salary and a 1 billion euro release clause. Now, it's reported that Barcelona have agreed with Atletico Paranaense on a contract worth around 40 million euros that Barcelona will be able to pay over 3 seasons. So that will be a 3 installment plan, which is of course great for Barcelona because it means that the 40 million euros are not gonna immediately impact the financial fair play rule restriction for the season. Only a third of that 40 million will be added towards the calculation of the salary limit of Barcelona. Now, initial reports are saying that Vitor Roque is not gonna arrive until the winter of 2024, so in the winter transfer market, probably because Atletico Paranaense wanted to keep him until the end of their season, which ends in December. And of course, there is the issue of Barcelona needed to offload players in order to create space on their wage bill. However, this is not confirmed yet, and we don't know whether it's for sure whether Vitor Roque is gonna be coming during the winter transfer market, because as I reported in yesterday's video, Xavi Fernandez really wants Vitor Roque to get incorporated into the club during this summer transfer market because he wants to include Vitor Roque in the preseason so he can start adapting and learning the Barcelona style of play as soon as possible. Now, we will most likely have more information tomorrow, and I will be able to confirm 100% whether Vitor Roque will be coming during this summer or during the winter transfer market. But one thing we know for sure is that Vitor Roque is coming to Barcelona, and then Barcelona have finalized the signing of the Brazilian wonder kid, one of the most coveted center forwards in the entire world. Now, speaking of players arriving in Barcelona, today Gigantes, which is the streaming channel of the very well-known Barcelona journalist Gerard Romero, caught Íñigo Martínez at the Ciudad Esportiva being photographed by the Barcelona official photographers. So it seems like the club are getting ready to make the official announcement of the signing of the 31-year-old defender. Now, Íñigo Martínez's contract with Athletic Club de Bilbao expired on June 30th, so he will be arriving in the club as a free agent. In fact, he will be the second free agent signing of this summer, with İlkay Gundogan being the first one. And it's reported that Íñigo Martínez will be signing a contract with Barcelona until 2025. And it's also reported that he has already passed all the medical exams, and he's even said goodbye to his former teammates at Athletic Club de Bilbao. Now, one player who will not be arriving in Barcelona will be the Turkish Messi, Arda Guler. Now, Barcelona had reached an agreement with Arda Guler and Fenerbahce, or an agreement in principle to be more specific. So Arda Guler can come to Barcelona, not the summer transfer market, but the next one. That way he can continue growing and development at his current Turkish club, and that way Barcelona can have more time to clear space on their wage bill and come up with that transfer fee or that release clause worth around 17.5 million euros. And when it was reported that Arda Guler was gonna be making a decision in regards to his future today, it looks like the player has made the decision that he will be joining Real Madrid instead of Barcelona. Now, it looks like Real Madrid made contact with the player and his entourage during the final hours, offering Fenerbahce 20 million euros, so more than the actual release clause of 17.5 million euros. And it's reported that Real Madrid made other offers such as signing bonuses, variables, and even offered to pay the entire taxes of the transfer of the player. And it's also reported that they made a higher offer to the player himself, offering him a higher salary and higher bonuses and variables. And as such, Arda Guler has now decided to join Real Madrid. Now, this is not official yet. Arda Guler has yet to make his decision official, and Real Madrid have yet to make the announcement of this signing official. But there are plenty of journalists reporting that Arda Guler has made up his mind and that he will be joining Real Madrid. And as such, it looks like Barcelona will be missing out on signing one of the most promising midfielders currently in Europe. Now, speaking of young promising talents, it's reported that Ivan Fresneda is willing to wait for Barcelona as the club figure out a way or a strategy on how to try to sign that 18-year-old right back. Now, as we've been talking about for quite some time, Ivan Fresneda is an 18-year-old right back who's one of the most promising right backs currently in Spanish football. And he currently plays for Real Valladolid, who just got relegated to the second division. And as such, the player is looking to for a new team because he doesn't want to play in the second division. Now, Ivan Fresneda has a 20 million euro release clause, and Real Valladolid are looking to cash in on that release clause, given that there are plenty of clubs in Europe wanting to sign the young player. And after Barcelona met with Ivan Fresneda's representatives, they informed the player that they're very interested in signing him. However, they wanted or needed more time in order to figure out a strategy on how to sign the player, given that Barcelona are very tight on the financial, on their finances, and also their wage limit that they currently have under the financial fair play rules. Now, it's reported that Barcelona have reached out to Ivan Fresneda once again and asked him to wait a little bit longer, and they're planning to meet with him in the upcoming days in order to come up with a strategy to try to get him out of Real Valladolid for a lot cheaper or a lot less than what his current release clause is. And it seems that the player is still willing to wait for Barcelona a bit longer, and for now he's not considering any offers from any other clubs until Barcelona give him their final decision on whether they're gonna be able to sign him this summer or whether they're not gonna be able to, and therefore he'll have to look for a new club. Now, despite Ivan Fresneda wanting to wait for Barcelona longer to see whether they're gonna be able to sign him or not, it's reported that his representatives are a little bit worried and have communicated their concerns to the club. And what they're concerned about is the news that I shared with you in yesterday's video, and that's that Xabi has been able to convince Jules Koundé to play in the right back position for the upcoming season. And Ivan Fresneda's representatives are worried that if Ivan Fresneda does sign for Barcelona, whether he's going to be able to get that playing time, or whether he's going to end up spending most of the time on the bench, as Jules Koundé will occupy that position. Now, Ivan Fresneda's representatives are also concerned about the fact that Julián Araujo is on the team and that Serginho Dest could end up staying in Barcelona, because for now the club cannot find a suitor for the American fullback. So for now, the representatives are worried about whether Ivan Fresneda will get the sufficient playing time at Barcelona. But we do know that the player is willing to wait for Barcelona, so that is good news. And hopefully the club will be able to come up with a strategy to sign the 18-year-old, because as I've said before, he's one of the most promising right backs currently in La Liga. Now, speaking of players that Barcelona are interested or were interested in signing, today the Fiorentina CEO has confirmed that they have no official offers for the Moroccan Sofiane Amrabat. Now, Barcelona had considered signing Sofiane Amrabat for the pivot position to replace Sergio Busquets. However, they ended up ruling out this operation for two reasons. Number one, because Sofiane Amrabat was not willing to wait for Barcelona to offload players, create enough space on their wage bill, and then sign the player, and also because the prohibitive price of Sofiane Amrabat, where Fiorentina were asking around 25 to 30 million euros, and Barcelona cannot afford to pay that transfer fee during this summer transfer market. Well, now that Fiorentina have announced that there's absolutely no official offers for the Moroccan midfielder, it's reported that Sofiane Amrabat still has the hope that Barcelona might be able to sign him, because he's hoping that Fiorentina will end up reducing his transfer fee, given that they so far have not received any official offers for the player, and given that Barcelona ruled out this operation due to the prohibitive cost. Now, this is a great example of how clubs cannot go ahead and ask for whatever amount of money they want for their players, because this is exactly what happens when you ask a lot more than what the player is worth. So we're gonna have to see whether Fiorentina will eventually reduce their the transfer fee or the asking price for Sofiane Amrabat, or whether they're gonna insist on those 25 to 30 million euros, which they had already had to bring down from 60 to 40 and now to 30. So we'll see how much further his price goes down. Now, of course, we cannot talk about signing players without talking about offloading players, and it's reported that Barcelona could finalize the permanent transfer of Clement Lenglet to Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, as we've been talking about these past few weeks, Clement Lenglet just spent last season on loan with Tottenham Hotspur, and when it seemed that Tottenham Hotspur were willing to sign Clement Lenglet on a permanent transfer, they decided that they wanted to take advantage of the situation of Barcelona, the financial situation, of course, and they decided to offer the club 5 million euros for the French defender, which Barcelona said absolutely not. Now, Barcelona want around 50 million euros for Clement Lenglet, and Tottenham Hotspurs do want to sign the French defender, and it's reported that the Premier League club have now offered Barcelona 10 million euros for the player, and it's reported that they have agreed with Clement Lenglet that he will sign a 3-year contract with the Premier League club. Now, Barcelona are looking to finalize this transfer during this upcoming week, now that the market has officially opened on July 1st, and they need to offload players to register the remaining players on the squad and to register the incoming new players. And it seems that Barcelona could end up agreeing to that 10 million euro offer that Tottenham Hotspurs have made, because after all, Tottenham Hotspurs have informed Barcelona that they're not going to go above 10 million euros because Clement Lenglet does have a high salary, and Tottenham Hotspurs cannot afford to pay the 15 million euro transfer fee plus the salary that they've agreed to with the French defender. Now, even if Barcelona agreed to the 10 million euro transfer fee, it's still a huge win for the club, because after all, Clement Lenglet is one of the highest earners on Barcelona. So it's by simply removing his salary off their books, that would create a lot of space and a lot of margin on their wage bill, so Barcelona can continue registering players during this summer transfer market. Now, we will end today's video with the news that Frank Kessie's agency today denied the reports from Gerard Romero that the Ivorian midfielder had agreed to leave the club. Now, Gerard Romero reported during the early hours of the morning that Xavi had spoken to Frank Kessie and convinced him to leave Barcelona during this summer transfer market. And after that news broke out, immediately Frank Kessie's agency, through social media accounts, denied these reports, saying that Frank Kessie wants to stay at Barcelona. Now, as we've been talking about for quite some time, Barcelona are looking to offload Frank Kessie because, again, they need to create space on their wage bill to sign new players. And it seems like this exit is going to be a difficult one, as the Ivorian midfielder is insisting on staying in Barcelona. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.